Welcome to the Vocal Lab podcast with your hosts, Shelby Rollins and Jason Catrone, bringing you the best from the music industry. Get ready for first-class conversations packed with exclusive techniques and transformative insights, all designed to help you reach your top note. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's podcast.
Welcome.
Shelby, welcome.
Jason, welcome to your house.
To your podcast.
To my podcast.
Welcome to your podcast. How
Jason,
are you? What? Talk.
No, I'm good. You are tired.
Oh, point out the obvious.
You are tired. Tell the people why. It's interesting.
Well, because I'm a workaholic, and no.
That didn't sound nearly as entertaining as I
Basically,
thought.
because I'm jet lagged.
Yes.
Yeah.
And where were you?
Where wasn't I? It's probably the better question. Been in Europe for a few weeks, doing my European thing.
I love how vague you're being.
I know. Well, okay.
You're being mysterious.
I was in
Jason
Italy.
Okay. Italy?
Yeah, I was in Italy. Yeah, just for fun. Then I went to Norway, and I did a master class there. I did some private lessons with singers there. I had some meetings with label industry people there, and I saw friends there. And then I went to Liechtenstein.
The made-up word.
Yeah, the smallest country in the world.
Is it really?
Yeah, and the wealthiest.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was the smallest country.
Only 40,000 people.
Like, how big is it? Is it
I just
like
said
the
it's only
size?
40,000 people.
Well, but I mean, like the actual size. Is it like the size of Rhode Island?
Probably. I don't know if it's that big. It takes 20 minutes to drive from one side to the next.
Wow. That's like smaller than Puerto Rico.
Well, that's why I said it's the smallest country in the world.
Well, fair.
But yeah, only 40,000 people live there. There's like 13 little villages that make up this country, and they all kind of, it's funny because when you're there and talking to people there, it's like, oh, you're from this area, and it's only like a mile away, but they treat it so individual, and there's 13 different dialects of the 40,000 people.
And what do they speak in Liechtenstein?
It's a form of Swiss German.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they're on the border of Austria, Switzerland, Germany, and Italy. Well, they don't border Italy, but
I feel like this tiny little country was sort of like a pawn in some political dealings.
Well,
and then it ended up being its own little guy.
Well, that's kind of true. It in the early 1900s, I think, especially during the war, if I was told correctly, it became a shelter for money, jewels, art.
Maybe that's how they're so rich.
It's a tax haven. Well, the Prince of Liechtenstein is still he's the last ruling monarch ever. Like, he can make a decree and just like, everyone's dead. He wouldn't do that, but like,
Oh my gosh.
he literally has the power. And so before any laws are passed there, they go to the prince and say, will you agree with this? Or what do we need to do to make it?
How old is he?
Approval? I think he's in his 80s. His son's the prince next in line. But yeah, and he's super wealthy. He owns so many vineyards all throughout that region, throughout Austria, Switzerland, stuff. He's Austrian, the prince is. I learned a lot in just 2 days.
You did.
And
Why'd you go there?
he also has more art than anyone in the world.
Wow.
His art collection's very vast.
Okay. Did you chat with
Well,
him
I
while
went
you were
because
there?
the prince invited me to come over to his palace and hang out.
Lies. Lies. Okay, yeah. Why'd you go?
Well, I did a workshop there as well.
Oh, okay.
A master class.
Nice.
Yeah. Fantastic singers in Liechtenstein.
Well, they've got the resources,
In
right?
Switzerland, yeah.
Great. I hope they paid you well.
Yeah, of course.
This wealthy nation.
I know, right? Yeah. That's why, I like to go places that have
pay
money.
you well.
Yeah. But yeah, so I did that, and then did a day in Switzerland just on the back end because I have some friends there, and in Switzerland, it's beautiful.
I should have asked you to bring me back some chocolate.
And then I went to, I do have some Norwegian chocolate. I actually prefer Norwegian chocolate over Swiss chocolate.
Can I have some?
Yeah, it's downstairs. I'll give you some when we're done. And then I went to Amsterdam for a couple days because why not? And it's going on, well, I guess it's ended now, but it's the big EDM festival.
Oh, gosh.
Called ADE. And so, but it was fun because like I had like 8 clients over there that I got to see from different parts of the world, and was even at the gym at Soho in the sauna and ran into a manager from Nashville. I walk in, he's like, Jason. I'm like, what?
Small world.
I know. Crazy. But yeah, so it was fun. It was a fun trip. I'm a little jet lagged, so who knows what I'm going to say today. So
Well, while you were in Europe, I went to Montana and wrangled cattle
Oh, that's right.
for like an hour.
How did you
It
know
was
how
like
to
a
wrangle?
lesson. Well, the lady told me how.
But you had ridden a horse before?
I've ridden a horse before, but I'm not like a horseback rider pro. I'm like I get on a horse and I get a little scared.
Well, that's most
Because
people.
they're big, powerful animals.
Yeah.
And they're a little scary to me.
Yeah.
And so they can tell probably that I am a total novice. I don't know what I'm doing.
They definitely can
and
tell.
So she's like, no, like kick the horse. I'm like, I don't want to kick the horse. That seems really mean. And I'm not going to say that out loud because she would just laugh at me because she's like a real cowgirl. But she was like, no, you got to like get your heels in and go like that'll make him move because otherwise he was just going really slow. And but either way, I learned how to. At one point, the horse did decide to trot before, and I did not tell it to, but he was following a different horse that was trying to take Tanner off into the sunset. And I was like, I hope you survive that. I am not following you. We are going to turn around. I don't want to die. But anyway, it was actually a lot of fun.
That's fun.
Even though I probably look like
Do you have videos horse riding?
very beginner. Yeah.
Okay, we'll
Oh,
look
yeah, I
at
took
we'll
some
look at those
videos.
over chocolate from
Yeah.
Norway.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, hey, we should bring in our guest today because this is going to be a fun episode.
Yes.
Yeah. Welcome, Charlie Boehm, to the party today.
How's it going?
Hello.
great.
It's going good.
great.
Better now that you're here.
I almost waved and then I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, this is video,
it's video,
too.
so yeah,
that's
you can wave
You can
everybody.
wave.
Yeah, so Charlie and I know each other from the gym.
Yep.
And I think, is that where we first met? I guess. Yeah, I think we probably met at the gym.
Probably
Yeah.
Soho at some point,
Yeah.
somewhere. Somebody.
Somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he's, following him on social media, doing some amazing stuff that he's going to tell us about. But I thought it'd be great to have you on the show today. So,
Yeah, I'm
welcome. Let's dive in. So, you do makeup
Yeah.
and hair.
Yep.
And styling. Yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
styling.
I do a lot of stuff.
A little bit
those
of
are the
everything.
those are the things that bring in the money though.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And as we learned prior to like filming, you're quite the musician yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen you play guitar on Instagram, but I did not know like the backstory. So that's cool.
Yeah.
But let's dive in. Just tell us like how did this all start? Like what got you into this arena of the entertainment business and really doing it at a high level?
Yeah, so I don't know. It's pretty weird. I moved to Nashville like 10 years ago, and probably like 2.5, 3 years in, I feel like no matter like what section of the entertainment industry you're trying to like aim for, it's a journey and it's very like oversaturated no matter like what you're trying to do.
That's true.
And so like, yeah, I think like a couple years in, I was just like fed up and like was in Nashville at the time, like 2015 is when I moved here. It was just growing so vastly that like, I was like, you know what? I didn't want to do music because I didn't want to be like a broke artist who like was second guessing themselves all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm on the other end of it and I feel the exact same way. I don't want to do this. So I was in like a long-term relationship. We had like a house together. It was like great, but like it was like I either have a full-time job and I'm miserable because I'm not doing art, or I'm doing art and I'm miserable because I'm broke. And I was like, I don't want to do either one of these things anymore. So like one week I just like had it. I called my boyfriend and I was like, I'm going back to Iowa. I'm going to go to college. I'm breaking up with you. I'm over this. I hate it. Like,
What were you going to go back to school for?
I have no clue. I was like,
just
my
drama.
family either like doesn't make it through like high school or like is like very successful. It's like one or the other.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't know. But I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And so I really like, it was honestly really crazy. So there's a guy named Billy B who was like in the 80s, 90s, and like early 2000s was like head to head with like Kevin Aquan, was like one of the world's greatest makeup artists of all time. His first client was Mariah Carey, and then he went on to do like TLC, Destiny's Child, Beyonce, Britney Spears, Pink, all those like in between bands that like would have like one hit wonders. Like he was the guy that they would bring in to like basically turn all these like almost pop stars into these like pop princesses. And so, I mean, Christina Aguilera, literally every single person at the like height of their career, like Missy Elliott when she wore the trash bag and like the rhinestones on her face, like that's him. Like just everything. Literally, he did everything. And I had kind of like always idolized his career, and I saw that he was coming to Nashville to do like a seminar, and I had like $500 in my bank account, and I was like, a week away from leaving, and I knew he was going to be there. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to like blow all this money to go to the seminar, and then I'm going to go back to Iowa, and it's going to be fine. And so I show up, and there's like, it's really small. I don't know if you guys know Melissa Schleicher, but it was like held at one of her many studios in Brentwood, and it was like all these like elite people who are like, I'm up for an Emmy, or like I work with these like big stars, and like da 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 da. And then everybody was kind of like, how did this kid get in here? Like,
just slipped
and they're like, what do you do?
Table.
And I was like, and at the time I was like really dabbling into drag because that was the only way that I could get my like creativity out, and it was just fun, and you know, queer in my young 20s, and I was just like having a great time with it. But I was just like, I'm a drag queen and like work for free most of the time, you know, and everybody was just like, oh, this is like so not the criteria for being here. But Billy just kind of like locked in and kind of, I think, saw like the vulnerability and the like insecurity that I was having with being there with like all these like great people. And it was like an 8-hour class. And at one point, one girl was like, oh, like you do drag, like you should like show him your photos. And I was like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to observe and get out. And he ended up like pulling me over to like his end of the table, and he was like, show me some of your work. And so I like showed him my work. And at the time he was on Drag Race as like one of the main judges. And so he like saw some of my drag, and he's like, you know, I'm on Drag Race, and like da-da-da. And he's like, your work is really good. And he like stood up at the table, and he was like, I'm going to quit teaching the class for the day, and I'm going to let this kid teach because he is way more talented than I would ever be.
What?
Wow.
That
And
really
I was just like,
happened?
yeah. And I was like, no, like this is not, no.
Dang.
Yeah. And so he was just like, I've never like, he's like, you're really good. And he was like, you made like those clothes. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, and you did the hair. And I was like, yeah, I do. I literally do everything. Like I just like to create art. And he was just like, you're so talented. And I was just like, okay, cool. Like, great. And so by the end of the class, well, actually, I was like, so like, I just love history. And when I like lock in when I like want to learn something, you know, and hyper fixate. And so like, I knew everything about him. And so there was one point where he was teaching, and I think everybody was just kind of like, how do you do a smoky eye? You know? And he was like, this is like, so basic, and I just need to get this class over with. And you could tell that he was just very kind of just like, I flew all the way to Nashville to just like
teach you how to do a smoky eye.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, can you tell us about that time you worked with Rosie O'Donnell, and she was like doing her talk show, and like they were having issues with lighting, so you took black paint and painted her chin with like a chin strap and like filmed the entire show that way. And he was like, how do you know that? And I was like, I know everything about you. Like, you're my idol, you're my hero. Like, you're a painter for a living on people's faces. Like, it's cool. And so the whole rest of the class just kind of like turned into like him and I just like bantering back and forth. And you could tell that people were just like, what the fuck? Like, we paid money for this. Like, and so afterwards he was like, if you can like find a place to perform tonight, I'll cancel my flight home and I'll come watch you do drag. And so like I called Play, because at the time I was like working there part-time as a drag queen, and I was like, we got any shows going on? Can I slip in? Like, da-da-da. So they let me perform that night, and he brought like the entire cast. At the time I had like merch, which I had like maybe sold like 1 or 2 shirts. Like that night I sold like all my merch. Like all the queens were like so like freaked out because they were like, oh my God, Billy B's here. He's, you know, on Drag Race and like da-da-da. And so it was like a really crazy moment. Like he came up to the stage and like threw a bunch of ones at me. And at that point he left, and I was like still performing. And I was like, oh, he's done. He saw me, he supported the situation, he's gonna leave. And then he like came back and just started throwing like more money at me. And then afterwards, one of the girls that was attended like handed me a napkin. She's like, you're gonna need this. And like, he pulled me aside and he was like, I just wanna like, he's like, I can really see that like you look really lost. And like, he's like, I don't know what's going on with you, but I can just like tell that like you're really down. And he's like, I just want you to know, he's like, I've never seen anyone with like your type of talent. And he's like, you're beyond this bar. He's like, you're beyond this city. And he's like, you're beyond this like whole situation. He's like, you're gonna fuck Hollywood up. And he's like, you just need to keep going. And he's like, you need to ignore everybody. And just gave me this like massive speech. And I was just like sobbing. And he's like, wow. Why are you crying? And I was like, because I've spent my whole life wanting to like hear these things. And I was like, and I never thought I would hear it from somebody like you. Like, wow. This is so crazy. And so basically, probably like a week later, he called me. And he was like, hey, bitch, what are you doing? And I was like, I was like, I'm in my kitchen, just like.
That's the way Carlos and I call each other, too.
I was like, I was like, just talking to you on the phone, like in my kitchen, like, I don't know. And he's like, well, I'm coming to Nashville and I'll pay you like $150 a day to like assist me. And at that time I was like, wow, that's a lot of money. Like I would do it for free. Yes. Like, and so I went and he was like doing some work at Melissa's shop with some of her clients, just like, I don't know, consultations and stuff. And so he just like brought me to like film and like document it. And it was really cool because he's like pretty much retired and kind of dropped off the face of the earth after that. So I have like all this like documentation of him just like doing all this work for these like rich ladies who want to like get these consultations by this guy who used to be like the world's greatest makeup artist. It's really cool. But because of that, there's a lady named Debbie Dover who at the time was on Pickler and Ben, and she was up for like a bunch of Emmys and whatever. But like everybody kind of seemed to like take an interest, and I really was just like, none of this is like gonna matter. All these people are only taking interest in me because this guy is taking interest in me, and like they're all wanting like a piece of this situation, you know? And so they're like, oh yeah, we'll entertain this kid for a little bit. But Debbie like reached out to me and she was like, hey, I have a wedding coming up and I would love to like hire you. And at the time I didn't know the like extent, I don't know if that's the right word. I didn't know like how intense her career was at the time. And so she hired me to do this wedding. And then from there, she just like continued to hire me to do work. And she kind of like felt the same way Billy did. She was just like, I'm learning a lot from you. I've been in this industry for 20 years. And like, I just feel like you're elevating my career just watching you. And I'm just like, everything I'm doing from someone that has been doing this for 25, 30 years. So I'm not doing anything new. Like I'm just like a carbon copy of what has been going on since like at least the 80s. So like, I'm like,
that's super interesting.
Yeah.
So did you do any kind of training in makeup artistry? You mentioned your mom's a hairdresser.
Yeah.
So you sort of learned some stuff from that experience, obviously. But like, where do you feel like you really honed your skill in the early days?
Honestly, doing drag. Probably, mostly. I did go to hair school 3 times.
Third time's the charm, or
no?
No.
But yeah, so I grew up in the salon with my mom. Like once I came out, she was kind of like, "You're gonna be a hairdresser," and I was like, "The fuck, I am? No, I'm not." And then yeah, it just kind of stuck. And then I fell into drag, like the act of like playing guitar in front of people and like singing, like. My graduation, I literally said the F word like 3 times because I like forgot my lyrics and just like blurted it out. You know, I was like, I cannot be in front of people and like entertain. But like drag kind of gave me that like fulfillment that I needed to like entertain. But also like, I was like, oh, I have like 5 inches of foam on my legs and like, you know, clothing that's entirely hiding my body and like hair and makeup that's completely disguising who I am. And like even my mom, when she would come to show, she'd be like, I didn't know which one was you. Like I couldn't figure it out. And she was like, how'd you cover your beard? And like, you know, so it was like a really good disguise. And like, I was able to like entertain, but then like, yeah, just like the painting of it. And like, I grew up painting. My whole family, we grew up really poor. So it was like music and art and like gardening and like basically everything that like, I think brings people joy. Like we just did because we were poor. Like, and that's just so, yeah, so in the early days, that's really how it was. And I always tried to get like jobs at like Mac or like a place that would give me like formal training, but like none of them really wanted to do it, I think, because I was like the like odd gay guy. And they were just like, you're just a little too artsy or creative. Or
for
like
Mac, really?
Yeah.
I worked for them for a hot minute.
Especially in the South.
Yeah, did I ever tell you that?
The amount of times I like applied and I'd get
in the
through
South,
like,
okay.
Get through like the interview processes, and like most of the people that worked there were like women, but also like they looked like Carrie Underwood, you know?
Yeah.
And so they just like, they weren't ever going to hire me. So it was a really big struggle because I was just like, how am I going to like get into this industry? Because I know like Billy, when he started, he worked for like Macy's, and I think he started as like a window decorator for Macy's in New York, and then like one day just like was painting somebody's face, and then someone called him to do Mariah Carey, and that's like how it started, you know? And so I was like, I need to get into
that's a funny someday
like,
or one day somebody just did this.
Yeah. Right? I've also never heard anyone say, I don't think, refer to it as face painting. I like that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, face painting, I think of like at the fair
I know,
when
that's
they
what,
like
yeah,
make
right?
the big
Think
cat
like little
on your
kids
face
getting
or
their
something like that.
faces
Yeah.
painted.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's really cool to use that phrase because
Right.
that's literally what you're doing. You're
Yeah.
creating some
Yeah, yeah.
piece of art on a face.
Yeah.
I worked.
Sometimes I use paintbrushes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the big
That's
one.
cool.
You know what?
We got a lot of work to do.
You know what? We do. We use them on like the body to like
Oh, yeah, that makes
Oh, yeah.
sense.
shimmer and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
My mom and dad have always used the phrase. It's some like colloquialism that's something like painting the broadside of a barn or something like that. Basically, like saying
Yeah.
somebody needs a lot of makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Tanya-
walk through the airport.
Tanya, she would always be like, "This old barn needs a lot of work."
Yeah. So who was your first like big artist that you worked with? Because I know you worked with Tanya.
I think Tanya was probably the first full time. So with Debbie Dover, she really like. That's probably where I got my like formal training because. So she brought me on. She fired the girl that she had been using. She was like, I needed an excuse to get rid of her, and like, you know, then brought me on kind of as her like little sidekick forever. And she would take me on music videos. At the time, she was on Pickler and Ben, Kelly's talk show, and I'd fill in for her with Kelly. And then like, if they had like big days, they'd bring me in to do those jobs. And I remember thinking like $200. I was like, oh my god, I'm making $200 a day working on Pickler and Ben. This is the best job ever. Like, but. So Debbie's probably how I got my formal training as far as like hands-on on like music videos and sets and stuff. But one day I got a call from her and she was like, hey, I used to work for this chick who dated Tanya's old assistant and she needs her hair and makeup done and like, you know, treat her really well because I love her. We have a lot of history, like da 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 da. And so I go in and I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Just another day. I go work for this girl and her name was Jody and I guess she was Tanya's assistant for like 25 years or something. And she wasn't her assistant at the time, but was in talks of like going back. And she was really cool. I think at the time she worked for some like entertainment company in town, but I did her makeup and her hair and she was like, I've never looked better, which you hear. And I'm just like, yeah. Like that's not true, but okay. Thank you for saying that. It makes me feel really good. And she's like, I'm never going to use anybody else. I'm going to call you for everything. Like that, the next day she ended up calling me for like Lauryn Hill. So she was like legit, like very serious. Like when she called me, I was like,
That's cool.
That the show.
Was she late?
She canceled the show. It was the one at the auditorium.
Oh, you don't know that? Oh, yeah. She's notorious for either canceling or starting really late. I went to see her in LA. This is like 10 years ago. It was supposed to start at 8. She didn't go until 12:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're just sitting there waiting.
It was quite a debacle. They had security escort me out because they were like, you're going to get like mobbed. But so Jody was amazing because she literally like, she was legit. Like the next day she called me and was like, do you want to work for Lauryn Hill? And I was like already downtown working on an artist who had like just gotten off of Idol. So like one, I was like, ooh, this is really great because that artist is going to see that like, you know, other people want to work with me. And then two, I was like, running as fast as I could with my bags through Broadway, like, God, out of the way, Lauryn Hill needs me.
Lauryn Hill needs me.
Yeah. And I only got that job because Billy, in the height of Lauren's career, was her makeup artist. And so when they were like, they weren't really interested in like kind of working with me just because like people of color get a lot of like, have a lot of bad experiences with like color matching and stuff. And so a lot of times they're like, let's see your portfolio and let's see how many people of color you work with. And so at the time I had just finished working with Billy and that's when they called me and they were like, yeah, she wants to work with you. But then I got a call a couple weeks later, like Jody, she was like an older lesbian, you know, was always down at like Red Door having beers with the older gays and was just like so great. And so one day she's like, Red Door now. And I was like, oh, this is important. I got to get there. And so I get down there.
So cryptic.
Yeah. And I'm like, what's up, Jody? What's going on? You know? And she's like, well, I'm going back out on the road with Tanya and I really want to bring you on board. She's like, I think she really needs someone like you. I didn't even know who Tanya was. Like my sister, I knew through my sister because my sister's fan base, they have the saying called Praise Tanya. Because my sister, when she was in recovery, they, I guess, always used to say you needed like a higher power. And my sister was like, well, Tanya Tucker's my higher power. And so she's always like, praise Tanya anytime something good happens. So I knew who she was through that, but I honestly like...
I love that was your frame of reference for Tanya.
Yeah, I didn't know anything. I didn't know much about country. I kind of like despised country growing up. I was like, I want to do rock and roll, and like, you know, hated having to play bluegrass as a kid. So I was like, and so I got a call. I went in. Tanya, I did her makeup, and she was like, you know, you and I are going to do great things. And I was like, okay, whatever. That was probably like January. Everybody kind of like lost their shit. They're like, holy, I'm like, that's crazy. Like, you know, I was just like, really? Like, and then probably like February, I got another call to work with her. March, I got another call to work with her. By March, Pickler and Ben had ended. Debbie was trying to figure out what she was doing. And so I was like, oh, I'm starting to understand that the music industry, no matter what end you are on, is very flighty. So
yeah,
I should probably just take whatever opportunity I get right now. And so I got a call to work with Tanya, and they were like, she's doing this record and da-da-da. And at that point, I was like, I should probably do some like research. And I was like, maybe she like loves that I don't know who she is, but like also maybe it's like kind of ignorant of me. And so I was like, I'm going to, you know, and then I like saw the True Hollywood Story and all these things. And I was just like, what am I doing? Like, this is insane. Like, oh my gosh, I'm working with a legend. And so I was just like, holy, like, and so that May she called me and she's like, hey, I just want to see how you like travel on the road. And she's like, I'm going to the Derby. You should come with. And so, so she took me to the Derby. That was my first time on a tour bus.
Yeah,
and
she's a big horse girl.
Yeah.
She's big into saddlebred horses.
Yeah.
That's what my family does.
She's so funny. And so she took me on the road for the Derby. And then like a week later, she was like, tell me what you want as a rate. I want you full time. She's like, I don't want to work with anybody else.
Oh. Wow.
And like bypassed her management, which like hated that. Like it was like, you know, and I was so new. I was just like, I don't know, like whatever, you know, I'm just along for the ride. And then Jody pulled me aside and she's like, this is tough. Like, this is going to be real tough, just so you know. Like, and then, yeah, Tanya was working with Brandy Carlisle at the time and Shooter Jennings. And so they did that record. And then they had like a documentary crew follow us around for like 3 years. And it was the craziest experience, the hardest experience, one of the best experiences of my life. But like, it really, like, that's really kind of like, it was like a double-edged sword. It was like skyrocketed my career, but like also a lot of like young people were like, I don't want to work with him because he makes everybody look old. And I was like, no, I'm making old people look young. What are you talking about? You know, like,
makes everybody look old.
Yeah. So it was like,
my gosh.
it was a double-edged sword because it was like, you know, but it was great experience. I love her to death.
How was the Derby?
Well, I've pretty much done every single one of them with her since then.
Oh, yeah. She goes almost every year, doesn't she?
Yeah. But
that's fun.
I don't know. It's just like you the minute you get on the bus, it's just like there's like 4 cases of tequila below the bus. And by the end of the weekend, like the goal is all that tequila should be gone. So it's just like, it's just fun. You know, there's no worry. There's like a little bit of a time crunch for like the red carpet, but like once that's done, it's just kind of like
which party does she do? The Barnstable party?
She does both. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, and like now I'm like, usually if I do it with her now, it's like I don't work for her anymore, so it's more of like a friendship and like oh, just come along, I want to see you, you know. Like just the other day she like texted me and she's like, hey, do you want to do this run? And I was like, I can't, like, but next one, let me know. She's like, oh, it's just an excuse to see you. Like, it's just like our relationship now, which I appreciate because it's just like too much of a party to like be an employer or employee. But yeah.
What a story.
I know, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And so
there's a lot there.
Yeah.
I'm curious how, well, because I've seen from your Instagram the Tanya time, right?
Yeah.
And so it's cool to hear like all the other things as well.
Yeah.
But of course, what I saw immediately was your work with Dolly.
Yeah.
So like, how did that come about?
Well, I got a call probably 4 or 5 years ago to do a commercial that also never got released. They have so much archived stuff that has like never been seen.
So weird.
Dolly?
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, they'll just like film stuff and then
Because she works all the
and
time.
then just tuck it away. And
For a rainy day.
yeah, and for a few years I worked for her and I didn't even say anything because like when I worked with Tanya, I didn't sign an NDA. Most of the artists I've worked for, like, I didn't have to sign NDAs, which I was like, probably not good like for some of them, but like but with Dolly it was like before I could even like step on the lot, it was like you know, sign the NDA, which is also bizarre because I'm like, the best experience I've ever had working for anyone ever. So I'm like, who could say anything negative about this experience ever? Like, that's so bizarre to me.
That's very telling.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
But so for a few years, I'd never said anything because I was like so afraid of even like saying something and then like going to prison. You know, I was just like, I can't say that I'm doing this, but it's really cool and I want to tell the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a call to do a commercial, which wasn't even with her. It was just like her fragrance. And they were like, we just need hair and makeup. And so I showed up, and it was a little crazy because I got there and they're like, we need you to make this 12-year-old look 80. And I was like, huh? Like, you should probably let me know this beforehand. Like, but you know, you just like figure it out and you do it. And then they just kept calling me a couple times a year for projects. And then there's a girl that is her director of photography, Natalie Simmons. Love you. She's so cool. We were on set one day, and my sister knows everybody in this industry. And so she was like, oh, you're working with Dolly. You probably know Natalie. My sister calls her Brittle because I guess back when they were like young lesbians together, Natalie used to like break her bones a lot because she's like a dirt bike rider and like just really like sporty and stuff. And so my sister has nicknames for everybody. And so Brittle was her name. Brittle. Yeah. So she's like, you know Brittle. And I was like, I don't know Brittle, but like I'll ask around. And so I get on set one day and I finally realized Natalie is Brittle. And I'm like, oh, and she's like, at one point, Natalie's like, oh, I know someone from Iowa. And I was like, that's weird. Like, you know, da-da-da. And then I was like, oh, I know you know who's from Iowa. And she's like, you do? And I was like, yeah, it's my sister. And she like got down on her knees and she's like, Lauren, LG's your sister? And I was like, yeah. And then from that moment on, like anytime they needed anything, Natalie would be like, call Charlie, call Charlie, call Charlie.
Wow.
And so that was great. And then probably like a year or two in, I got a call that she was doing the Miley Cyrus thing for New Year's with like CBS or one of those. And that was in like October. And they were like, would you be interested in like doing her hair and makeup? And I was like, huh? Like, what? Like the like end all be all. Are you kidding? Like, of course I want to do this. And then
was this for Dolly or Miley?
For Dolly.
Got it.
Yeah. And at that point they told me, they were like, nobody's done her makeup since like 2009. And
she's done it herself?
She always does it herself.
Wow.
Yeah. And they're like, so this is a big deal. And I was like,
she didn't have a manager for like,
I will do
most of her career.
Ever
Wasn't
you
it
want.
like her husband that did a lot of
Dolly?
it?
No.
Well,
she had a business manager.
Yeah.
There goes the jet lag.
I think once she, I only know this because of the musical that I just did and like signed my life away to for the entire summer. Sandy Gillen, I think was his name, was her manager up to like, I think she was like 35.
Yeah, it was like in the like 80s or something.
Yeah, and he like took her to like the mega stardom. But yeah, it wasn't until like later in her career that
I need to watch a Dolly documentary.
Yeah. But I didn't know.
That's crazy.
I learned a lot, honestly, from them.
So that was your first time actually getting to do her.
Yeah.
hair
Well,
and makeup?
What was it like that first time walking in the
they
room and there she
asked me
sat?
in October, and then I messaged him probably every day for like 2 weeks because I was like, I need to know, because it was like New Year's, and I was like, that's a long time to like book out, and like I want to do this, and I will cancel on everybody. And so they eventually were like, no. Like, sorry, she's just gonna do it herself. That's like, fine, we don't need you. And I was like, I definitely like bothered them too much. Got it. And then like 2 days before flying to Miami, they called me and asked me if I wanted to go. And I was like, shit. I was like, yes, I do. So I figured it out and I did it.
You gotta love the entertainment industry.
Yeah. But amazing. Like I walked in and I just like like
I can't even imagine.
Just because I was like, oh my God, you're so fucking beautiful. Like I just couldn't believe it, you know. You just like, you always imagine and like think, and like there are some people you work with who like, I always say our jobs are to make people look like celebrities, because everybody kind of looks like a naked rat before they go on stage without hair and makeup. So I'm like, but oh my God, I just like couldn't, I literally gasped.
Every celebrity who's going to listen to this podcast whose faces you've painted is going to be like, Charlie thinks I look like a naked rat.
Well, they'd say it. But yeah, so I was like, oh my gosh. And she's like so humble and she's just like, oh, I'm no natural beauty. And I'm like, no, bitch. You are so stunning. Like,
But did you say that to Dolly? Because
Yeah, I
I would
did.
have died. Oh my gosh.
What's even more horrifying is like chronically, like, I don't know what the universe has against me, but I showed up 15 minutes late because they sent a driver. They're like, oh, we'll have somebody pick you up. And like, there was a man speaking Spanish waving at me. And I was like, I need to get
Carlos?
I was like, I need to get in
There
this
it was.
car. And so I get in it and like, you know, like a few miles down the road and I'm like looking at the GPS and I'm like, this is not the right direction. And we were in Miami. I was like, I'm getting trafficked. And I was like, sir. And he's just like, no English. And I'm like, oh my God, what is
Where
happening
was he
to me?
taking you?
I don't know. We figured it out and I got there, but it was the whole like 3 minutes of me like learning that I was in the wrong direction. I was like, I should just have him take me to the airport. Like I should go home. I'm gonna burn every record. Like I don't want to be done. I want to leave this industry. Like
Oh my gosh.
and so I'm like going up her elevator to her room and then it opens and she's just there. And I'm like, okay, here we go. And then I'm
I
like,
would die.
I'm gonna get murdered, and no one says anything. So I'm like, if they're not gonna say anything, I'm not gonna say anything. It's fine. Later on, they were kind of like, and I was like, no, I'm aware. Like, don't say anything. It's fine. But yeah, the next day I like, because I was like, oh, like, you know, they're not going to use me because I was like 15 minutes late, and they're either going to use me because they're paying for me to be here and they're going to get their money's worth, or they're just like going to let me go because she always does it herself. Like, it's fine. And then sure enough, they called me the next day and they're like, she wants to use you again because I got her ready for the rehearsals. And then that whole week they had made me work alongside her to like touch her up, learn how she likes things done, you know, the ins and outs. And so the day I did her, 15 minutes late. And then the next morning they were like, we want you here, be here. Don't be late. Even more embarrassing, I set my makeup bags down by her trailer and like 6 SWAT came over because they were like, we've got a bomb. Like,
Oh my word.
I was such a newbie. Yeah. And so now my makeup bags have all my names on them, like my ats, everything. Cause I was like, no, we're not going through that again.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, the next day I like tried to apologize to her. I was like, Dolly, I need to say sorry. And she was like, what for? And I was like, because I was 15. I think I actually said 10. I was like, I was 10 minutes late yesterday. And she was like, no, it's a new city. You've never been here. I didn't tell her I had been, but I was like, yeah, you're right. And she's like, I forgive you. It's hard not to with those dimples. So the sweetest person on earth.
Aw.
Yeah. It's great.
That's what a good story.
Yeah.
know,
and
right?
then again, I thought that like after that, I was like, oh, like they flew me out here. They're just going to get their money worth. And then on my flight home, I got a text and they were like, she wants to book you out for like 6 months on all these dates. Like, are you available?
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, I just do whatever they need whenever they need it. Like,
Yeah.
and I work really hard and they're really loyal. And I think they like know when people are like thankful. And
When were you released from the Mum's the Word NDA? When were you allowed to talk about it?
I never have been, but like people post about it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so one day I asked her lawyer just like face to face. I was like, can I make this post? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay.
What's the point of this then?
Yeah,
I mean, maybe,
so-
you'd have to read it.
Yeah, I
but-
mean, I don't know, but like, I'd never give away the secrets, but, yeah,
Obviously, they just don't want anything disparaging.
yeah.
Not
But
that-
again, like,
To your point, like, she's the best person you ever had to work for.
like,
There's nothing bad to say.
I've never worked on a set where like everybody is so grateful and like willing and like everyone knows they're making magic. They're working with a legend. She genuinely cares about people. She like has like a master chef 24/7 taking care of people. Like everything is handled so professionally. And
Wow.
like, I will say working with like previous legends, not being obvious, but I had to like unlearn a lot of bad habits because it was like, oh, I'm showing up at 8, but you're not rolling out of bed till 1. Got it. Oh, and then you're supposed to be on stage at 8 o'clock for this like headlining tour that you're doing to sell these records because you're up for 4 Grammys, but you're going to make everybody wait for 4 hours. Got it. Like, you know, so it's like,
Yeah.
oh, and then also being like, oh, your label hasn't paid me in 6 months. Whereas in like, on the other hand, I like do the job and like 2 days later, the check is in my mailbox and I'm like, oh, wow. This, you know, so it's like.
I love to hear that because you really hear more of the latter, the other version of that.
Yeah.
The stories that's, I feel like, more standard in the industry. So to hear, you know, that somebody, especially on that high level, like cares that much about all the people that work for them, that work for her, that she makes sure that everybody is taken care of and it's in a timely manner. It's efficient. I mean, like, when is anything ever like super efficient in entertainment? It's just typically not. So I love to hear that.
Yeah, and I think it's the undercurrent of you don't become a national treasure unless you're truly a treasure.
It's also honestly,
totally.
it's made me value my own worth too, because I
I'd
say no a lot more, and like not even because I'm like too busy. Just sometimes I'm just like, I just don't want to work for this label anymore.
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
like. Again, I never like signed any NDAs, but like with the previous greats, one in particular, like their management and their labels were just like so awful that like when her daughter like signed a record deal, she was like, I don't want anyone but Charlie doing my hair and makeup. And like when her label called me, I was like, I don't want to work with you. I was like, no. I was like, if it's coming from somebody else, then sure. But like, I'm not doing a music video for you. Like, I'll go for Layla and I'll just do it for free because I'm not working for you. Like
you being the label.
Yeah.
Man.
Just because it's like, I don't know. I'm just like, like these people were like so awful to like, you know.
Well, it's unfortunate when, you know, as a creative, you live check to check, right? And you're waiting on those a lot of times.
Yeah.
And then you have people at these companies making decisions who have their check deposited every 2 weeks or every month.
Yeah.
On schedule with a corporate credit card to go to lunches. Like, it's really infuriating and it's unfortunate.
Debbie taught me a little trick that has like really like so many people on our end have been like, how do you like what magic sorcery are you doing? But Debbie, she was like, just send them like a net 15 like late fee with your invoices. And like now I do that like within 2 weeks. And sometimes when it is like, because it's just like automated in my invoice, but like when it's like friends who've like recommended the job or something, like sometimes I'm like, oh God, they're gonna think I'm like a dick for doing this. But like I think about it and I'm like, well, the girl like writing the checks is probably getting paid weekly, like, you know, so why do I have to wait 3 months, you know? And so I send out like a net 15, and if it's not paid, then I like add an additional 20%. And every single time when I send that 20%, like the next day they're like, we'll ACH you, or like, you know, whatever, like they just take care of it. And
I just like to make Carlos wait 3 or 4 days to sweat. Every month, top of the month. He's like, hey dude, can I get that?
It's very common.
I just wait. Like, I wait till the 4th. And then I'm like, hey, rent's due tomorrow. You know? I'm gonna need somewhere to put all this gear.
But to your point that I love, that's important to like, I you know, shine a light on, is it made you pay attention to your value more. It made you value your own worth more. And it's not, you know, when somebody has a high standard and they operate on a high level of like, I'm on time.
Yeah.
I do my job well.
Yeah.
I don't talk crap about other people.
Yeah.
And I require that if you want me to participate in the art that you are creating, that you treat me with the utmost respect. Yeah. And that includes paying me on time, paying me my rate, and not trying to haggle whatever that is. Bless you. And to have that standard is not to be standoffish or off-putting or rude or like brosy with people so that you can help relationships. It actually teaches them how to respect themselves. Yeah. And when you can kind of have that security in who you are, like what a gift to other people that you work with. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. Yep. No, that's part of even being a coach.
Yeah.
Reinforcing those qualities in the artist or... Yeah, it's so important. So you've worked with all these legends. I mean, it's really crazy cool. Yeah. You know?
I think I've done them all except for Reba and Loretta. And I'll obviously never do Loretta.
We'll put in a good word.
Who's on the wish list? Like, it doesn't have to be a legend. Like, just anyone at any level.
Gosh.
Just manifest it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's so hard because it's like... also I feel like you kind of like get to a point where everybody wants the same goal with hair and makeup. So it's like a lot of times you're like, oh, finally I get to work with this person. But like, especially when they're at like mega stardom, you're not going to change anything. Yeah. You're not going to like get to really be creative because they like have like an agenda they need to stick to.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they have a brand identified already.
Yeah. But I don't know, honestly.
This is the part where I wish the podcast was big enough that the person was waiting outside the door.
That's so funny. I would love to do someone that Billy has worked on, which I guess I have because he did Dolly in 2009, which I didn't say that, but
so he was the last one she had before you.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Which was pretty wild. And even now, like I don't really work on her much. Like they'll call me pretty much anytime they have like guests. So like Linda Perry, I now work with because Dolly called me to do a music video.
Oh no way!
Yeah,
one of my clients is working with Linda. Right, I
love
now,
Linda.
On a record.
Who is it?
Sophia Treadway.
Because I know my friend Sam is doing a documentary that she's like producing.
Wait, Sam. What's his last name?
Parker.
Oh, does he live in LA or here?
Here.
Oh, no, Sam.
Yeah. So yeah, Linda, Jane Lynch, like anytime they need anything, they like call me. And like most of the time I'll like touch Dolly up and most of the time she doesn't even need it, but I'm just like, I want to make sure I'm busy. So I'm going to go powder her nose. Plus I want to powder Dolly's nose, you know, like, when she launched her makeup line, they called me to, you know, do all the swatches and whatever.
Cool.
There's another girl that we like kind of hand in hand get called for everything. Her name's Christian. And I love her. She's awesome. But for the most part, she just like always does it herself. And so I forgot what the question was.
Oh, if there's like,
like
who's on the wish list?
Yeah. So I would love to do like more people that like Billy has done. So like Gaga, he did all through up to like Joanne. So like Fame Monster, Born This Way, he did all of those. I think that would be fun to like have that opportunity.
Yeah. Sure.
Because still like one of the things that like I feel like creatively where like I had a switch when I was a kid in high school was when like Gaga did the VMAs for the first time and she came out and just like was like covered in blood at one point and did that whole like paparazzi performance and I just was like, I didn't know art could be this cool. Like this is crazy. And she was just like so out of the box for like pop culture. That like really stuck with me. That was when I like kind of like started to like steer away from rock and roll and all of those things and like really kind of get into pop and like also like I was like, wow, like femininity can be like really hard. Like this is cool, you know? And so like I don't know, working with her or like also like Sharon Stone. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
That would be cool. Such an icon. Or Glenn Close would be really cool because she's another one that like can just like take on any character and really just like do anything and is like very theatrical.
Yeah, that'd be so
those
cool.
things are fun. I love like or working with like David LaChapelle, the photographer. Like that's a dream because he's just like so iconic in everything he does. Like his photography and his like brain. I'm like, what? How many drugs did you do to become that creative? Because no one's brain processes this way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so cool. Well, hey, listen, we're going to make your dreams come true today.
Oh, boy.
You're going to be an artist you've always wanted to be. So inside these two little martini shakers, one we have names of famous people.
Love it.
Okay? And the other we have names of famous songs.
Love it.
And you're going to pull one of each. Then we'll tell you what to do. I don't know which is in which, so yeah, that one's kind of hard to get out.
I was like, it's empty. Share. Oh,
okay, we got Share. Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna shout out Kyle Skillen, who I worked with on the Dolly musical. He did the Cher show, and I think
that's cool.
I think his actress that played Cher got a Tony because
wow,
because she was a great actress,
so cool.
but he he did all of her
brought it to life.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what song did you get?
Blinding Lights.
Okay, so this is gonna be. I don't know if I could do this. So you've got to sing "Blinding Lights."
I don't know if I know that song.
In the voice of Cher.
That's that song by The Weeknd.
Okay. Yeah.
And we can feed you the lyrics if you need the lyrics.
I was gonna say I don't know the lyrics.
You just have to do that. You just do that phrase. What is it, Carlos? Read it out.
Oh, I'm blinded by the
I'm
lights.
blinded by the lights.
Yeah.
I can't,
I can't
sleep.
sleep until I feel your touch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And
I can't sleep
until I feel your touch. So in the voice of Cher, your best version of Blinding Lights by The Weeknd.
Oh God. Acting is also terrifying. I'm blinded by the light. I can't. It's so bad.
That was pretty dang good. We'll take it.
I love that you did it without thinking too hard
I thought you were
about
going to
it.
hesitate. I thought he was going to just sit on it and
then
like
you added
but
a
just,
shimmy.
You just went into
I know.
it.
I had to.
But you got a little bit of her like trimmer style
I
vibrato.
was like,
that was a
hair
nice
flip, yeah.
touch.
Yeah, that
Thank
was
you.
so good.
You're a good
However
sport.
she does it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It could have been, your rendition of going to the Derby and the horse that won. But
That is true.
Oh boy.
Yeah, no, so good, so good. Hey, this has been really fun. It's been awesome to hear your story, and just you're another person in the whole big picture of music business, entertainment, creativity that clearly has just put yourself out there, met people, connected with people, and the most amazing things have happened.
Honestly,
And that's we encourage people every day to just be themselves and go for it, because your path is your own and anything's possible. And yours has been really cool. Can't wait to see what's next.
We'll see.
Not that you can top what you've done yet, but there's going to be some obviously big things. So
Thanks so much
for
for
stopping
coming
by. Let people know where they can follow you on your socials.
It's Charlie Boehm, MUA.
BOEHM.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for stopping by. We'll have you back
thank you.
sometime.
Thanks for
This
having
was
me.
So great.
Thanks, Charlie.
Yeah.
All right, and thanks for tuning in today. We'll see you all next podcast. Thanks for tuning in to the Vocal Lab podcast. Ready to join the top ranks of the music industry? Don't forget to follow and subscribe for more first-class conversations that make the extraordinary your new ordinary. Until next time, keep striving for your top note.